Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Custom Carving and Epoxy UK. I hope you're all doing well. Now, a bit of a strange one this, and this is just one of my wacky experiments, I think. So, I don't think I've seen anybody experiment yet with putting chocolate in resin. And I've got a few of these coins left over from Halloween, which I think have actually got that design in the chocolate. Now, I think it's just going to melt, if I'm being honest with you, and create a blob. But I just think it'd be interesting to try and put a bit of resin in a mould, put this chocolate coin in, put a bit of resin on top, and then over a time lapse, see what happens. See if it keeps that design in, or what it actually looks like when it's cured in the resin, if it does cure. So again, bit of a wacky experiment. I'm just going to be using the Let's Resin 1-to-1 resin for this, because I'm not going to need a lot. I'm not going to need to fully fill that mold or anything like that. I just want to see what effects it's going to have over a period of, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes whilst it sets, and then I can monitor it as well over the next few months, and just see what happens to the chocolate inside. Is it going to go mouldy, which is what I suspect, or is it going to stay pristine? And if so, how long for? So I'm just mixing up just over 50 ml of this resin. I am going to put it through the bubble removal machine, because if we get any cool effects, the last thing I want is bubbles going through it. So just mixing it together, only a small amount of resin, but I just thought it'd be a cool little experiment. I don't think I've seen anybody put chocolate in resin yet, so I always try and look for something different, what nobody's done before. And if it has been done, apologies, I haven't seen the video, but it'd be great to see what results we get. So all I'm doing, mixing up the resin, I'm going to put it in the bubble removal machine that I've got, and we're going to pour, and we're going to see what happens to this chocolate coin, initially while the resin cures, but also over the course of the next few months. And I just think it'd be really interesting to see what actually happens to it. I've seen lots of other foods put in, but never chocolate. And again, if it can keep that design as well, that'll be really interesting, even when it's melted. So we will see together. I'll be back once this has gone through the debubbling machine. So we're back, and as I say, I've just mixed up probably about 50 ml, I would say, of the Let's Resin 1-to-1 resin. So the first thing I'm going to do is just pour a thin layer on the base, so that I know that the chocolate coin, when we put it in the resin, is going to be completely submersed in resin, which is what I'm hoping for. And again, we might not get any effects from this. We might, I don't know. I just think it was something that was going through my brain, and I just thought, do you know what, let's experiment, let's find out. So I'm just trying to tease these little bubbles that I can see to the surface. It's the first time I've used this mould. I don't know if you guys have found it as well, but the first time you use a mould, it seems to create more bubbles. Once you start using it on a regular basis, you seem to get less. So, don't know, let me know in comments. But also, guys, we've just gone up to just over 6,700 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. One of my goals is to try and get us to 10,000 before Christmas. So if you haven't already, and 80% of you haven't, that are watching these videos, do me a favor, just like and subscribe to the channel. It makes a huge difference, because it lets YouTube know that you're liking the content, and it sends it to more people, which helps us grow as a channel. So if you can do me a favor, spend 2 seconds and just push that subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. Or put something in comments. What do you think is going to happen to this chocolate coin? Now the fun part, especially in gloves, trying to demold it. And you can see there's still a little bit of a design on there. I think these are probably a little bit worse for wear. As I say, the leftover from Halloween. I didn't get many trick-or-treaters this year, and I was actually prepared for the first time. So again, just taking the foil off, because I want this experiment to be about the chocolate. And that side, you can still see a pretty cool design, which is a 5p piece in the UK. So I'm literally just going to place this in the resin, and let's see what happens. I've got a feeling it's just going to melt straight away. So what I'm going to do, just to try and help prevent any of those bubbles, is just put some resin over the top of it, and I think it's already going to start to melt, but I could be wrong. And then literally it's going in the resin. So that's in there, and before it has a chance to melt, I'm going to pour resin over the top. And as I say, guys, let me know what you think is going to happen to this chocolate coin. I've got a little bit spare, and I am in the process of filling my newest drip mould, which is this French Bulldog. So I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of mica to it and then pour it in there. But at the minute, the chocolate still seems to be keeping its form, so that's quite interesting. I'm just going to add some of this metallic gold to that. That was too much. And then I'm going to pour this in the top of this French Bulldog mould. But interestingly, it seems to be keeping its form at the minute and doesn't seem to be melting. I've noticed there's a few surface bubbles on there, which I just want to get rid of. But yeah, it's still keeping its form, which, if I'm being honest, I didn't expect it to do. So hopefully, as I say, well, two things. Hopefully this is going to fill up my drip mould finally, because I've been working on this one for about 3 or 4 projects now, and it's still not quite full. So I'm just hoping that this final layer of gold might finish it off, and I still think I'm going to be a little bit short, but we'll see. But the chocolate at the minute is keeping its form, which I didn't expect. I expected as soon as the resin went in, it sort of lose its form. And don't get me wrong, I think if I took the resin out now and tried to handle it, it would definitely be a blob of mess. But I just think it's going to be really interesting to just see if it keeps its form over a period of time as the resin cures, or if it completely loses it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom us in. I'm going to again keep torching these excess bubbles off the surface, which you're going to get, and I think I'm going to get quite a few in this, just because as the chocolate dissolves or melts as such, which I think it will, I think it's going to release more bubbles. But I just thought it was something different, bit of a fun project for us to try together to see what results happen, and if it keeps its form, and if so, how long is it going to keep its form for once the resin's cured? Is this going to stay looking like a chocolate coin over the next 3 or 4 months? Is it going to go mouldy? I don't know. So let me know what you think in comments, guys. I'm going to put you on a time lapse for about 20 minutes, and then we'll demold this tomorrow. Good morning, guys, and it is the next day, and I'm intrigued as to this chocolate coin, whether it's still intact when we demold. Looks pretty intact in the mold, so yeah, it's going to be a pretty straightforward demold, I think. Both sides, we've just got that beautiful clear resin, and the chocolate coin that has kept its form. What I'd probably do if I was doing this again is just put a thin layer of resin in the centre down first, to basically create more of a window and get it more central. But as you can see, that is fully cured. The chocolate coin has kept its shape, and as I say, the resin's cured beautifully. So it's just going to be a case now of watching this over the next few weeks and months and seeing if it breaks down. But I've got a suspicion it will, but I think it's going to take a while before it actually starts to break down. So there we go, just a fun little experiment. We now have chocolate coin cured in resin, keeps its shape, didn't melt. So it's going to be intriguing to watch this over the next few weeks and months. So just remind me over the next few months when you want an update on this, and I'll do a separate video to show you. Or obviously if it starts deteriorating, I'll probably do one before then. This is literally going to go in my living room on the fireplace, and I'm going to watch it. You know, it's as simple as that. So cool little experiment. Hope you've liked it. If you have, like and subscribe to the channel just there, and I'll see you on the next one.